It's me again, and this is good, and it is important, and it's going to push some buttons, I'll tell you right now, but I want you to watch it, and I want you to think, and I want you to be honest with yourself, okay? If you are in a relationship, a situationship, if you are talking to somebody, just started dating somebody, this will even go as far as your besties, the people you hang out with, your best friend, just whoever you hang out with on a daily basis. Be honest, okay? Are they consistently, the key word here is consistently, are they kind to you? Are they consistently kind? Are they consistently respectful? Think about it. Do they call you out of your name? Do they disrespect you, your kids, your house? Do they tear up your stuff when they come over? And not think twice about it? Cigarette holes, cigarette burns in your furniture, and it's just like, well, yeah, not mine. Are they disrespectful? Are they consistently listening to you? Not just hearing wah, wah, wah. Do they listen to what you're saying? Do they care? Are they empathetic? Do they engage? Do they return your texts and your calls in a timely fashion? Now, in my world, my friends are doctors, they're attorneys. I have some friends that are in law enforcement. They're kind of busy. So I don't expect a call back or a text back in 5 minutes. 6 hours, we're doing pretty good because of their schedules. And I'm the same way. That's okay. But it's not an emoji. It's not a thumbs up. It's a real live response. It's words. Do they answer your text? Do they call you back? Do they ignore you? Do they ghost you? Do they, now be honest, it's the only time you hear from them when they want something. If they want to borrow some money. If they need to stay over. If they need to stay over for a reason. It's the only time they reach out is for sex. Don't you think you're kind of worth more than that? Kinda? Like a lot? Now, this is where it gets a little deeper. Again, be honest, this may not apply to everybody, but with the people that I talk to, it applies. Have they ever asked you to cover for them? And why? Think about it. Did you do it? Why? And do not tell me, oh, it's because I love them. Honey, if you love them, you would tell them to stand on their own. If they're big enough and they're bad enough to do whatever, then they're big enough and they're bad enough to take responsibility for it and own it. Do they have you take the fall? Do they finger you for things that you didn't do? You weren't even there. Do they blame you for all kinds of crap? You're taking the fall for them. Why? Do they tell you, well, if you love me, you would do this? Honey, you got to love yourself more than you love them. You never take the fall for anybody else. I don't care who it is, not even your baby. No. If your child comes to you and needs an alibi, needs an excuse, once the car got wrecked and they want to finger you for it, hey, tell them you did it? I don't think so. If you're big enough and you're bad enough to get yourself in this situation, then baby, you are big enough and bad enough to get yourself out of it. Own it. If you do something, own it. Take responsibility, accept the consequences. If you're big enough and bad enough, for those that will tell me, because I hear this all the time, but it's about loyalty and blood and family. To that I respond, bullshit. Yeah. Loyalty, blood, family, then they should know better than to put you in that position. If they love you, if it's about loyalty, they would never do that to you, ever. They would never put you in that position in the first place. They would never think of coming to you and saying, take the blame for me. Take the fall for me. Say that you did it. I don't think so. No, you're looking at it all wrong. If somebody loves you, they're going to protect you and defend you. If you love someone, you're not going to ask them to take responsibility for something that you did. You would never do that. Own it. If you're big enough and bad enough to get yourself in a situation, then accept the consequences. Own it, accept the consequences. Man up. You know, there's the expression, you know, grow a pair of balls. Well, that's fine if you're a guy, but if you're a girl, grow a set of ovaries, you know? You got to own what you do. You got to own your past, own your present, own your future. And it can suck sometimes. And I see this with people all the time. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want you to ask yourself, these people may be disrespecting you, treating you poorly, asking you to take the fall for them, whatever. Honey, are you willing to sacrifice yourself, your identity, maybe your freedom, for somebody that really doesn't give a rat's ass about you? Yeah. I'm not Willy Wonka. I don't sugarcoat anything. But are you willing to do that, and why? Do you think if you allow them to mistreat you and to treat you like this, that eventually they will love you? Honey, it doesn't work like that. No. We teach people how to treat us, and all you're teaching them is that they can get away with this. If they loved you, they would never have done this to you in the first place. They would never put you in that position. They would never disrespect you. I want you to love yourself enough to say, oh, hell no. Nobody is disrespecting me. Nobody is blaming me. Nobody is doing XYZ to me. I don't think so. You have to love yourself more than you love them. And that's hard. If you're talking about your baby, your child, because I'm a mom, but yeah, I would never, and my son knows that. No. You have to love yourself enough to have boundaries, to respect yourself, love yourself, be kind to yourself. Because people will treat you the way you let them treat you, the way you teach them to treat you. Teach them from day one to treat you with kindness and respect and gentleness, with love. They're not allowed to raise a hand to you. They're not allowed to pull your hair, hit you, slap you, punch you. No. Throw things at you? I don't think so. No. Not if they want to be in your life. No. Do not sacrifice yourself just for the sake of being in a relationship and wanting to convince yourself that they love you. Because, baby, if they did love you, they wouldn't hit you. They wouldn't disrespect you. They would call you back. They would return your texts. They would come around on a consistent basis, not just when they need money, need a place to stay, or need sex. Can you understand? Please, watch this a couple of times. Think about it, because, baby, you're worthy of love and respect and kindness. Never, ever sacrifice yourself to try and convince yourself that they're going to love you more if you do this. They're going to love you if you throw yourself under the bus for them. They're not. It's not going to happen at all, ever. So think about it, okay?